James Milner is the Swiss Army knife of footballers. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Liverpool, a save which is sort of first becoming a one-season challenge at this rate, and I'm kind of okay with that, honestly, because I'm just getting used to the game, enjoying the sort of slowness, weirdly, for once. I'm actually quite enjoying just getting bedded into Liverpool at the moment, and I hope you guys are as well. And if you are, drop a like on the video. It genuinely does help out the channel with that YouTube algorithm nonsense. So, today we've got, I mean, you could say slightly winnable games. It's really hard to say. We face Brighton first up, but you'll notice that Brighton are actually fairly high up on the high-scoring, high-quality shooting stats right now. So they're certainly no mugs. They're definitely having a good season so far, and they definitely won't be an easy game to play. But what I have seen from my scout reports, though, is that they may play a very similar shape to that which Chelsea played, and you saw how very, very good we were against Chelsea when they played with that back three, but with the narrow central midfield. Hopefully we can replicate something like that against them today and get back to winning. Just too many draws lately. As for defensive efficiency, we really are starting to look a lot more. This is where United have definitely really struggled. You can see this is what I love about these stats and charts. They look very good on an attacking output, and I think they are scoring a decent amount of goals still, but you can see that they're not facing many shots, United, but they are conceding an awful lot of goals off of that, and that's really what separates the two of us, and that kind of played out perfectly in the game we played against them. They had a decent number of chances in that game and scored, but they also didn't give up that many chances and let Mo Salah get the equaliser for us. So yeah, that was kind of a game of the season in microcosm. But one other thing I wanted to take a look at, one of the things I really like about the data analysis stuff, and I talked about this in my Data Hub video, which if you haven't seen, I talk a lot more detail about things that you can actually do in here, is at a quick glance, you can see from the green, yellow, and red where you're doing well and where you're doing poorly. Now, obviously, there's a few areas where the yellow might not actually be the worst thing in the world, as we've already highlighted in other videos, where we're winning fewer headers, or rather challenging for fewer headers, but we're strong in the header anyway. And that's really what I'm focusing on. I don't mind if we're not actually challenging for that many headers, provided we're actually winning the ones we are challenging for. The ratio of headers won is far more important to me than the pure number, because statistically speaking, a team that's on the defensive side of things a lot more is probably going to win more headers just because they're facing more crosses. But this stat here does concern me slightly. I want to know what the hell Everton are doing, but that's a different story. We were sort of somewhere in the middle of this one, and we still kind of are, but we're starting to slide a bit more towards less passes and making them more inaccurate. And I do wonder if that's because slowly as we've changed our tactical style from what we originally wanted to try to replicate Liverpool, which I think are kind of thrown out the window at this point in favour of efficiency, I wonder if maybe some of the player instructions I've put on the certain players, particularly Fabinho when he's playing as a DLP, and our two wing-backs to play more direct passing, I do wonder if that's catching us out sometimes, and maybe they're trying to force the ball long in scenarios when perhaps just a more simple pass would make more sense to maintain possession and keep the steady build-up. So I do wonder if things still start to look a bit dodge after today's video, that might be the next strategy for me as far as making some changes to keep us going. Because statistically speaking, we're still unbeaten in the Premier League. We've only lost one game in normal time this season. It's a good sign, but I'm just a little bit worried that we might be starting to slip a little bit. Now, a little bit of trivia time. You guys seem to enjoy this, so hey, I'm going to keep doing it. I have fun finding out questions to be fair, about the opponents we play and other various things that might keep this going. So, Watford, one of our opponents, the last one in today's video. Watford have got a bit of a reputation over the past few years for regularly switching around their managers. So my question is this to you. How many managers have Watford had since the start of the Premier League era? Doesn't mean when they were playing in the Premier League, just since 1992. And if a manager's managed them twice, that still counts as two people for the purposes of this, because it's easier to work out. So hey, answers in the comments, you'll find out at the end of the video. Can't wait for the day that I get the answer wrong in one of these trivia questions, and then it's just chaos, just absolute chaos. Bad times have happened. So in the 1 week that we've had in this little period, Tsimikas has gone down with an injury, with a thigh strain, which is quite a long time out. If I'm honest, really didn't need that right now, given that he was our replacement for Robbo, and also the Ox has pulled his hamstring. He'll be out for, a relatively small amount of time, but still, missing these three. Tsimikas we could do without if we had Andy Robertson, but we don't. So what I can say is, hello, Joe Gomez playing left wing back. So in the early kickoff, Leicester and Spurs drew 0-0. Spurs are having the worst start. I don't know. I think Spurs have probably had worse starts, but it's been a while since Spurs have had a worse start than this. They lost 1-0 at home to Newcastle in the late fixture of last weekend and now have 9 points from 10 games. But this right here is a must-win game. Brighton are a decent side. Wolves are a decent side, but we're at home. We're unbeaten, of course, in all competitions, well, all the Premier League games so far, and hopefully we can continue that today, get a win which could see us go back above Wolves should they drop points. Tactically though, it does feel like it's going to be a case of Joe Gomez in, Gomez is insanely versatile, we know that, but he is right. What's his left foot actually like? Weak. Oh, I worry. Part of me does wonder if I could play him as an inverted wing-back for this game. The problem then is that, of course, Mane would... they'd kind of be clustering in a certain area and we'd have no width on this left-hand side. Despite that being an injury crisis position, you look at the rest of the team and actually, it's pretty good. It's just that one area that concerns me, but at least Trent's here. So, as I suspected, Brighton are playing the type of very similar system to Chelsea, in like very, very similar, in fact. And that went well for us. Because if I'm being honest, this season and this series, in a way, would be a disappointment for me if we don't win something this season. Now, I think Champions League, depends on how we do in the second half of the year. If we can get ourselves comfortably through to the next round and get a good draw, that will depend on that. But I do feel like it has to be Premier League or FA Cup. And I think the Premier League, given the way our sort of main rivals are playing this season, is definitely one of the ones that we should be targeting and are playing well enough to hopefully get that. Still unbeaten a quarter of the way through the season is a good start. I want to see how long we can keep that record going, to be honest. And hopefully today, we should be able to do that, given that our two games are Brighton and Watford in the league. Those are two games that you've got to be either winning or certainly not losing. Falling behind against Villa and then having to come from behind in that game, that's what's really done us a few times this season. Henderson, oh, lovely football. Fabinho drills it over the crossbar. Nice build-up, though. He's a bit isolated out there, but if he can still muscle a chance after get a cross in. Oh, it's been hacked by Alan Lallana there. Former Liverpool man, of course. Back to Trent. Fabinho, edge of the box for James Milner. Blocked. Salah. Oh my God, we just can't find the space for the shot, can we? Trent. Fabinho. It's so congested in the box here. This is incredible patience from the lads, though. We're still going, and it's a corner off the end of that. Apparently it's a goal kick. Fabinho. Salah. Oh, it's a brilliant strike from Mo Salah on his left foot there, but he couldn't quite bend it home. Nice start, though. This reminds me a lot of how we played in that first half against Chelsea. Just no red card this time, eh, lads? Mane! Oh, Sadio. And we've won it off them with Mo Salah. Here's how we could get teams on these little breakthrough situations here as Salah gets round his man. He's got tons of bodies in the box, and one of them is Sadio Mane at the back post. And it is 1-0 to Liverpool after 21 minutes. Really nice little bit of play there from Salah and Mane, and it's nice to see those two combining again. Mane is now starting to chip in with a few more goals, but this all really came from Salah anticipating that pass, then taking his man on, skipping through a challenge, and delivering a gorgeous ball behind the defender. Mane can't miss that one, and he doesn't, and it's 1-0 Liverpool, and that is huge. Come on. Oh, round the side for Salah. And it's offside. That must have been pretty tight, though, for Mo Salah. I swear that was very, very close. Someone did tell me in the comments of a way that you can tell if it's going to be offside or not, and I've actually forgotten already what it was. I think it might be given. It is given! I thought that was going to be given. There's no way Salah looked offside to me. It's Liverpool 2, Brighton 0, Trent with the assist. Salah makes the run down the wing. Yeah, he's comfortably onside there. No shadow of doubt about that one whatsoever. It's a great finish from Mo Salah. It's just nice after all those draws just to come out here against a good Brighton side. 7th in the league they are. And then have such a comfortable display on the cards here as for... Oh! It's 3-0 now, and Sadio Mane. Oh my God, this is like the early stages of the season. What a difference a week's rest can make to the squad. And we're doing this without Andy Robertson. And Joe Gomez is doing a splendid job in at left back today. Bit of a melee in the box here. Maybe there's a bit of fortuitousness with the way the ball falls to Sadio Mane, but it doesn't matter. He still had to finish it, and it's 3-0 Liverpool now, and this should be cruising time, hopefully. It feels like at the moment we could have as many as we want. Alexander-Arnold now on the back post as Virgil van Dijk's header is well saved. Half time, 3-0 Liverpool. Mane and Salah linking up comfortably there for the result. Also, City beating Burnley away, but Cancelo has been sent off in the first half, so Burnley could do us a huge favour if they could find an equaliser there. Changes have been made. We've freshened up the entire front line here, really, just to get fresh legs on there for today, to keep the pressure on Brighton, but also to allow our front line to be a lot more refreshed coming into that fight. Oh, Pascal Gross is through here for Brighton, and it's a good save from Alisson, the first one he's had to make. Lovely ball. Joe Gomez has done very, very well today. I've been incredibly impressed with him as Origi flicks it to Curtis Jones, who's hit the post with it. He's offside anyway, but thank goodness it spared his blushes. Hopefully we're still able to... Oh, actually... Don't let that cross come in. It's a nice piece of play, and to be fair, they deserve that goal. Neil Maupay, we have taken our foot off the gas a little bit in the second half, but I suppose it's about managing these things over the full season here. You know, a 5-0 win against Brighton and a 3-1 win against Brighton don't really make that much difference, I guess, goal difference-wise, but we already have an excellent goal difference, and I'd much rather save the legs of players for in games that are a little bit more important. As long as we still get the win, that's what matters to me. Virgil clears it into the corner. It is going to be Liverpool 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 1, and a very comfortable result there for us, which is exactly what we needed, really. Just a little bit of cruise control for a match. Still had a few chances in the second half. Couldn't really make much of them there, and Maupay got one back, but it is what it is. We got a chance to rest a lot of that front line out for most of the second half too, which always helps. Sadly, City don't drop any points at Brighton. Wolves do lose, though, to Man United, which means that we do go back to the top of the league. We now find ourselves 6 points clear into the Champions League spots, which is a good sign. Best goal difference in the league by a comfortable margin as well, and we're well over 2 points a game, which is totally fine by me right now. Salah definitely starting to claw back some... ground on Ronaldo as far as top scorer goes with his 7 in 10 right now, which is certainly no bad record by any means. He's still on for like a 25-odd goal season if he carries on like that. Ronaldo's on ludicrous numbers, which will surely tail off eventually. In terms of monthly analyst report, it's relatively similar stuff, except as you can see once again, our pass completion is a tad lower, percentage-wise anyway, as we kind of expected. But as you can see, still overperforming there. And we're roughly still just actually... you notice our expected goals per game has definitely gone up from what it was before. So that's definitely... I would say that perhaps defensive injuries have played a role in that. I think that's undeniable, that because we haven't changed our tactical style. It does seem that just missing a few players there has certainly made us weaker. Really, really solid. Dribbles, interestingly, fairly low, considering we have quite a lot of dribblers in this team. I wonder if that's something we could look at potentially. Aerial numbers, though, still excellent. Scoring is still right where we want it to be. Now, we have an international break after the Watford game, which obviously, you know, is a rest, but it isn't really. I mean, some players will get a chance to have a rest as a result, but what I mean, I think the best thing about that is, with the injuries that we do have, those players obviously aren't going to be on international duty, so it's going to give us more time to get those guys back and firing and fresh and ready to go without having to play any more games without them in the meantime. So I still look at that as a positive, particularly if we go into it off the back of a few more victories. Dinamo Kiev today, bottom of the group. We played very, very well against them last time. This feels like another of those games where maybe Van Dijk dropping out for someone like Konate isn't the... Well, then again, do we do it? Do we do the Jordan Henderson centre-back? I love that he can play there in the games like, yeah, that seems reasonable. Because we could put Naby Keita in this role without the Ox, and then Milner in the Carriero role. So as far as ball-playing defenders go, obviously the one thing that Henderson doesn't have on him is the height. Tackling's the same. Marking's actually better on Henderson. Heading is a tad worse, but he has much better on-the-ball attributes. The only thing that Konate has over Henderson as a centre-back at the moment is his height and a little bit of speed on him. It's actually incredible how good Henderson could play there, particularly in a game like today. I want to try out Henderson as a centre-back, although I'm tempted to swap him and Matip over so Henderson's playing on his right foot at least. This might be a crazy experiment that goes horribly wrong, but I'm willing to give it a go today. Watch Henderson now score from corners. Just occurred to me that we've got a bench that needs a bit of work, actually, because there's players that are not registered. So we will sort that out quickly. There we go. That's better. But Inter and Porto are playing away. They're not both playing away. Porto are playing away at Inter. Now, given the fact that Porto lost to them at home, it stands to reason that they're probably going to lose again, and it's looking very likely that Inter are going to probably maybe win this group, unless we pull out some miracles against them when we play them. Maybe we could beat them on the head-to-head, but the draw against Porto probably is what's going to cost us there. But then again, they've dropped points too. So actually, maybe I'm not sure about this. The key thing is, though, if Inter beat Porto and we beat Dinamo, all of a sudden, we start to open up a little bit of a gap over Porto with a home game against them to come still. So I think there's a strong chance that that's kind of what we need to do, but winning our group could still be on the cards should the right things go our way. But as you can see, we are 3 points behind Inter, and we would still be 3 points behind them. But then again, that home game against them, and only a 2-1 deficit from the first game, if you like, as far as head-to-head goes. So if we were to beat them 2-0 or something, we could get that result. Failing that, maybe just, you know, a 2-1, and then have them on the goal difference, if we can get a good enough result against Dinamo here, which I hope we can do. It's a strong enough lineup. Henderson in at centre-back just to do mad things. I just want to see if it's going to work for us, really. I think this is an early kickoff, so we actually won't know what's going on in the other game at the moment, because I think we're playing earlier, because I guess we are, you know, in Ukraine, so I guess, you know, time differences and whatnot. Keita bombing to the wing here, whips it all the way through, and it's cleared. Comes back to him. Salah blocked again to the flying left-back Joe Gomez. Cuts it back to Milner. Can he shoot, maybe? All the way back for Fabinho. Oh, it's blocked, but he's still got it. Oh, go on, Fabs, have a shot. He's still going. Oh, that was a brilliant piece of play from Fabinho. Trent now, they've dropped someone very deep here. Oh, it's in! It's in, and it's Joel Matip. Lovely piece of football there, and it's Dinamo Kiev 0, Liverpool 1 on 15 minutes. We very much needed that. My goodness me. That was weird. So what happened was, one of the Dinamo defenders, you'll see this, look how deep he drops. Trying to mark, who's he marking? Is this Henderson? Yeah, it is. For some reason, he plays the rest of our team on side, and then Matip just gets a free header. Absolutely shambolic defending from Dinamo Kiev. Henderson, brilliant run though. Oh, lovely build up once more. Keita to the byline maybe. Can he whip it through? Salah flicks it over. Bringing it out of defence as always. Milner over the top for Salah. He has to square this to the back post maybe. And he finds Fabi. Oh, not Fabi. For me. No. Oh, Alexander-Arnold with a ball around the side for Mo Salah. Whew. So we've got to be on watch here. And oh my God, the space. Vertat, we need a big save from Alisson, and we find it. Henderson did get dragged a little bit into the midfield there, and it did open up quite a lot of space for Dinamo, and we've got away with that one. Easily the best chance of the game for either side, I'd say, really. So, yeah, ridden our luck a little on that particular play. Thank God for Alisson. Half-time, and obviously we've been the better side, but it's certainly not anywhere near as domineering as it was at Anfield, but the most important thing right now is we're winning. I've just dropped the tempo down a touch, and the passing directness. We did this before against them, and it seemed to work really nicely. Oh, chance for us now. If he can square it for someone. Keita! They just can't find a space for the shot, can they? That's the problem. I can certainly see why they were able to take points, or at least look pretty stable against the likes of... Oh, Christ. Come on, Hendo. Oh, no! Oh, I think he just did enough to put him off there. Wow. Cuts inside. Trent to Keita into the box. Round the side for Minamino's header. Decided to get Henderson off and give Van Dijk 10 minutes at the end here, just to make sure that we're stable enough to get this one over the line. Just because I do worry about things like that, and I think that 9 minutes is hardly likely to hurt Virgil's fitness levels too much. So, yeah, just make us a tiny bit more stable for the final few minutes. Look at our centre-backs at the moment, by the way. Just marauding. Minamino now to the byline. Loads of space for James Milner. Pulls it across for... Oh, he can't turn. But Keita can, and it's once again blocked. No late goals, please. Oh, what a save from Alisson. Wow, they've actually had some decent chances in this game. Like, he'll take a few steps out just to run with the ball for a little bit, and now just wins us a throw, which we can see out the final few seconds of this game. It's been quite a tough one, really, away from home, but we've come here, and we've got the result that we needed. Sometimes you're not going to win these games 4-0. You just have to get the result over the line. I think we've had chances to score more than this, potentially, today, but it hasn't mattered in the end. And we've also ridden our luck at times. They have had a couple of chances, but there we go. Dinamo Kiev 0, Liverpool 1. Certainly not our finest hour in front of goal. I think we were still the better side on the night, but as you can see, there were a few chances for him in the second half. But that Matip goal in the first half, lovely little decoy run from Jordan Henderson. I'm giving him credit for that. I'm trying, but I mean, hey, that's their fault they went with him. He didn't have the best game, but he didn't have the worst game either. And it was 0-0 with Barella sent off. Okay, so that does confuse things a little bit now, because it means that were we to get the wins against Inter and Porto, we would get the group win at that point. Now, we no longer have to worry about the head-to-head potentially in there. If we can get those 2 home victories, we can win this group and canter away into the sunset a little bit, but we still have to get those results. But that's the most... It's weird because it gives us a better chance at actually coming third, potentially, which is a bad sign, but it also gives us a better chance at winning the group, so it's the maximum amount of points our opponents could have dropped there. I'll take that. Right, Watford. Weirdness has happened. Also, with our trivia earlier, from what I can work out, it's 26 managers they've had in the Premiership era. Obviously, that includes people like Quique Sanchez-Flores twice, so I counted him as 2 there, just because it was easier. So there you go. I wonder if you got it right. I assume you did. My system wants a lot of changes. I'm going to have to sort of... take a little look at this myself here. Van Dijk and Matip is fine. Milner at left back. Then again, Milner can actually do it, can't he? Because of course he can. He's James Milner. And I assume it's because Gomez needs a rest. Yeah, but then again, Milner needs a rest too. But then Milner is also an Energizer bunny compared to Milner. It might have to be a slightly rotated side here. I don't think it's the end of the world, and obviously we could bring on Mane if we need him. Then again, for the same reason, we could probably get away with starting Mane for this one too. Just international breaks after this. I don't know. It's so hard to say. Now, Watford play a 4-4-2. So I'm trying to think if anyone's actually played like that against us this season. There should definitely be gaps, but we are going to have to worry about the back line, I think, a bit. What's Milner's tackling like? 13, positioning 13, marking 13. Heading obviously isn't spectacular because he's 5'9", but he is a left, he's not really designed here. But good crossing-ish, great mentals. I don't know, like if anyone could do that role for us, it's probably James Milner, isn't it? James Milner is the Swiss Army knife of footballers. It'd be perfect if we could grab a result here as well and actually go 3 for 3 today, particularly if we could avoid conceding a goal as well. That would really start to put that little spell of draws in the bin. Intercepted brilliantly by Jordan Henderson. Is there a ball through? There is to Mo Salah. It's a tight angle though, and he's not going to be able to shoot from there, but that's fine. He can just keep going. And it's 1-0 already, and it's Naby Keita inside 2 minutes. We have the lead at Vicarage Road, and that is a big, big load off our mind right now. To go ahead so early. That press really, really worked there. Brilliantly intercepted by Jordan Henderson. Finds Salah nicely. And then Salah, doesn't just shoot for no reason. Takes it through. It's a lovely bit of play to get himself back in there. And Keita with that run. Keita really likes those runs. Technically, Keita wasn't the box-to-box midfielder there. Salah's in behind. He's not going to be able to shoot from there, but again, patient hold-up play, and Mane makes it 2-0 in 4 minutes. Oh my God, I'm so glad we started them both now. This is a perfect start to the game, and now all of a sudden, Liverpool are starting to look an awful lot more like Liverpool than they have done in the past. Our away record, despite us being unbeaten this season, is still one of the better ones, but it's been a little bit shaky as of late, but this is really putting that to bed. Salah with another assist. Keita again finds Mane, not Mane, Salah! Oh, it's a good chance, but he's just taking it a little too wide. It just feels a bit like we have a threat in this game, and we will be for the full 90, it would seem, but Watford have definitely got a counter-attacking threat here as Salah's strike is well saved. Alexander-Arnold, back post, and Van Dijk is completely unmarked and somehow has failed to find the back of the net there. Back for Thiago. Nice work on the edge of the box again. Oh, what a goal. Naby Keita. It's 3-0 in half an hour. It's just like the last game in a way, but this is so much better from the lads. Keita's had an absolute blinder today. So has Salah, but that is a strike of the highest quality. Don't know who will get the assist for this one. It might even be Mane as it goes. But look at it's Thiago. Just gets it out of his feet and has just curled a beauty into the top corner. And that might well put this game to bed potentially. Scoops it up for Mane. Might get a shot away here, or at the very least turn creator potentially. Back for Keita again. Keita hat-trick perhaps? Oh, it's 4. It's 4, and Sadio Mane now grabs himself one. Wow, this is actually a bit of a demolition job in the opening half an hour here. Watford 0, Liverpool 4. This time Mane on the score sheet. Keita will grab the assist off of this one, but, I mean, this could get very, very ugly for Watford if they're not careful. Mane just pops it inside, and then Keita pops it back to him. Lovely finish. I mean, Ben Foster is rooted. It definitely gives them an attacking threat more when they can get the ball on the break against us, but it leaves them so open at the back, as we've seen here. Oh, chance now. And they got one back, and it's Juan Hernandez. Makes it Watford 1, Liverpool 4. I did kind of figure that might happen today, just on account of the fact that it is such an open match that they would find a little gap, and that's kind of the definition of what I was talking about. They did finally manage to progress the ball up the pitch, and once Emmanuel Dennis gets it here, he's able to stop it around the side. I don't know why both defenders leave him, though. Well, half-time, and 4 is very harsh on Watford, but we've been clinical today, and we've kind of made up for some of our misperformancing in more recent matches. Though the highlight continues, as the physio's just on the pitch. Watford's new left-back is the physio. Chance for a free kick for us here, potentially. Alexander-Arnold, and Van Dijk's header at the back post, and that's going to be offside? Henderson's offside. Okay, let's see this then. Oh, it's awarded! It's Liverpool 5. Wonderful ball in from Trent. I think Henderson... Nah, he's onside. I don't know which one even was Henderson, but no one was offside. It's 5-1, substitutions. Strong performance from the lads. They're really very much what we needed. I think 5's a bit harsh on Watford, honestly. I don't think we've been that good, but the chances we've taken today have been sublime. Exactly what we haven't done in other games there, and it really has paid off with a 5-1 victory at Vicarage Road. Definitely deserved the win, but maybe not by that margin. And that leaves us top of the league now. 25 points on the board. Really, really good day for us. Plus 20 goal difference. City still have the game in hand against us as well. We are now back in front of Wolves as well. It's looking good for us currently. We're actually starting to find a bit more form again. Still unbeaten in 11. Happy days. Still would have been nice to have kept a clean sheet in a Premier League game. Actually haven't done that since the Chelsea match when we had 10 men. So, you know, not ideal. But then it gets a little bit tougher in the next game against West Ham, but then also Inter, and then Norwich City in there too. Hopefully that's going to be a good victory at Carrow Road. But if we can beat West Ham as well, that could really start to put the cat amongst the pigeons as far as us being Premier League champions, and start to really push for that then, because that could potentially take us to 4 consecutive league victories. That would be great. But really, the concentration has to be on that Inter match. We get a nice 2-week rest now. The likes of Robertson and Tsimikas should be starting to return, and we've done all of this as well. Bear in mind, without a proper left-back in the team, Joe Gomez and James Milner have filled in the role for us so far, so hey, things are looking good for us. If you have enjoyed this episode, and I hope you have, drop a like. That'd be spectacular. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I stream on Twitch on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 10 a.m. 10 a.m? 11 a.m. So go follow there too, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for probably the biggest Champions League match we've got. Porto will only matter if we do well in this one. So, I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Hold your gun. Capybara. Bye-bye.